Kamau stood before Nia, his heart pounding as her tears streamed down her beautiful face. He had just confronted her about her mysterious past, and she crumpled like a delicate flower, looking more vulnerable than ever. "Why can't you trust me, Kamau?" she sobbed, her voice trembling with feigned hurt. "I've told you everything. I'm just a woman who has suffered so much. I lost my family in a terrible accident. I have no one left." Kamau felt his heart tug at her words. The sincerity in her voice was almost palpable, and guilt washed over him for doubting her. "Nia, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Please don't be angry with me," he begged, taking a step closer, desperate to comfort her. Nia wiped her tears with the back of her hand, her expression shifting from sorrow to something darker as she looked up at him through her lashes. "I just want to be happy, Kamau. I thought you were my chance," she whispered, her voice a soft melody that wrapped around his heart. From that moment, Kamau was completely entranced. He began to overlook the small signs of her strangeness, her penchant for disappearing into the night, the way the villagers spoke in hushed tones when she entered a room. He fell deeper in love, convinced he would do anything to protect her. Despite the villagers' mounting concerns, Kamau pressed forward with his plans to marry Nia. The wedding day arrived, the village filled with a mixture of joy and unease. Villagers gathered, their faces a blend of excitement and worry, casting sidelong glances at Kamau as he prepared to commit to the woman they feared. As he stood at the altar, his heart raced with anticipation. Nia walked towards him, ethereal in her white dress, her beauty undeniable. The air crackled with an unsettling energy as the village elder began the ceremony, but Kamau was oblivious, entranced by Nia's presence. "Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?" the elder asked, his voice echoing in the hushed gathering. "I do," Kamau declared, the weight of his words lingering in the air. The moment their hands joined, the collective shiver swept through the villagers, a silent acknowledgement of the doom they feared was sealing Kamau's fate. Once the ceremony concluded, laughter and celebration erupted around them. But as the sun set, the festivities turned hollow, overshadowed by the whispers that followed Nia like a shadow. She reveled in the attention, but her eyes glimmered with a predatory gleam, as though she relished the chaos brewing in the hearts of the villagers. As days passed, Kamau's life continued, but beneath the surface, turmoil brewed. Nia began to display more erratic behavior, vanishing at odd hours and returning with an air of mystery. Her charm turned to manipulation, and Kamau found himself increasingly isolated from his family and friends. Each warning from the villagers became a mere echo in his mind, drowned out by the love he felt for Nia. Meanwhile, Nia's dark influence began to take hold of Kamau's life. She would often draw him into whispered conversations late at night, planting seeds of doubt about those closest to him. "They don't understand us, Kamau. They are just jealous of our happiness," she would say, her fingers caressing his cheek, and Kamau, lost in her allure, would nod, swallowing her poison. The village fell into despair. Crops continued to wither, livestock disappeared, and the once vibrant community became a shell of its former self. The villagers' eyes turned from hope to fear as they watched their livelihood dwindle under Nia's subtle malevolence. They approached Kamau, desperation lacing their voices. "You have to see it, brother. Something is wrong with Nia," they pleaded, but Kamau dismissed them. As tensions rose, Kamau found himself in fierce arguments with his brother Mwangi. The bond that once united them now frayed under the weight of Kamau's blind devotion. "She is bringing calamity to our home," Mwangi shouted, his eyes pleading for Kamau to see reason. But Kamau's anger surged, fueled by his conviction. "You're just jealous. Nia is my wife now, and I won't let you tear us apart." He stormed away, leaving Mwangi's heart heavy with worry. Days turned into weeks, and the village's plight deepened. Kamau felt trapped in a cycle of Nia's manipulation, his love twisted into a blind obsession. The warmth of family gatherings grew cold, and the laughter of friends faded into silence, replaced by the chilling reality of Nia's darkness. One fateful evening, as Kamau returned home from a weary day of work, he noticed the shadows stretching longer than usual. He found Nia in the garden, her hands stained with dirt, a strange glint in her eyes. "I've been waiting for you, love," she purred, but Kamau couldn't shake the sense of unease creeping in. "Have you been here all day?" he asked, his voice tinged with suspicion. Of course, Nia smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I just wanted to make our home beautiful for you." As he watched her, a deep-seated dread settled in his gut. It felt as if he stood at the precipice of an abyss, the village around him crumbling while he clung to the false hope that love would conquer all. Kamau's dreams of a joyful future began to twist into nightmares, revealing a horrifying truth he had long ignored. The whispers of the villagers echoed in his mind, now impossible to silence. He stood at a crossroads, unaware that his choice to marry Nia had woven a dark fate for them both. Would he uncover the truth before it consumed him? As Nia plotted her next move, her heart a chamber of secrets, Kamau's life was about to spiral into a darkness from which there would be no return. This was merely the beginning of his doom, a tale of love corrupted, where beauty hid the face of evil.